Just to let everybody know, the video audio might have been high last week because I fixed something in the thing and I didn't know it was going to be that loud. But whatever, man. But yeah, going back to what we was talking about, y'all would just fall into where me and Mike are talking about. But excuse me, money in social media changes everything. Like, bruh, as a photographer with a business, and we're going to get to photography because one of y'all asked my opinion on something. And I'll give you credit when it's go time. But, bro, the whole concept of like your blue check, like on X, they are letting you know, hey, if you want your stuff to be seen, we need your $8 a month.
You're gonna have to pay.
On Instagram, Mark Zuckerberg, whatever Boosie call him, Mark ain't fooling me. You know, when they was doing the whole like, hey, you got to get the blue check, and then it's so you can contact us. That was the craziest excuse ever. And so it is what it is. But I mean, yeah, we need $1,500. We need a donation from y'all.
Yeah, we got to get the Patreon up and going so we could push, because the truth of the matter is, and we're talking about we're starting it off with last week's clip of Stephen A. Smith and Ryan Clark.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out to y'all for making it go viral and being in the comment section.
Crazy.
Love our audience, by the way. Love our audience. I love our audience, man.
They all right.
Yeah, no,
I love y'all.
Because whenever people try to come in with that BS, man, our audience be like, nah, we ain't even gonna let that fly around here.
Yeah.
This is a no-fly zone for us. For us.
Yes.
So, but it's one of those things like, hey, man, our content is as good or better than the vast majority of content that's on social media right now.
Our podcast looks better than probably 95% of y'all podcasts.
Yeah, audio is better. The topics 95. Are better. I mean, hell, we get a segment ripped from us every week to a major. Like literally every week, one of our segments.
It's like when Drake signed McConaughey and just took his whole sound.
Let's hope that doesn't happen to us. But there's a major pod that we actually like, by the way, that finds our best. Find it quick too. I'd be like, bro, y'all. We just dropped the episode.
Well, they got 15 people on staff. We're going to talk about that too.
I mean, like, we just dropped the episode.
Absolutely.
Hey, bro, yeah, both segments back to back, like for real.
And our points. But I love it. But yeah, we are living in this world now where you got to pay to play.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, who just text me?
Yeah.
Y'all need to stop calling me. Speaking about our Patreon, we will get there. But please go sign up, subscribe. Shout out to the Founders Table, where if you subscribe, it's $25 a month. I encourage everybody to log into Patreon and pay. If you pay through Apple, you pay an extra like $6. Apple is taxing y'all.
Yeah.
But if you log into Patreon and you set it up, you get the $25. But your first month come with free merch. Ben heard that on the pod and was like, I'm gonna try y'all.
Yeah.
And he got him a sweatshirt, and then I had to test out the toboggans. That kind of, it's cool. I like the toboggans, man.
So, yep, first month, going to come with merch. So, your first month is practically free. Get on there because we actually, again, right, goes back to the point we had at the beginning of the pod of, how do we push through is going to be through the support of our audience, which, by the way, best audience out there in pod. Nobody else's audience, I believe, is as good as our audience. And this is one of our hats, by the way, my favorite hat.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Shout out to Leandrew. Sent me a video. I have not heard it yet, but here we go for the first time live.
Photographers are kind of like cassette tapes. They on the way out the door.
Like a still image is not going to stop that scroll. Mm-hmm. And that's all people are doing now, right? So they want to see a video when something's moving. So when the whole world go to video and your whole career is based off of taking a still photo, what you going to do now? I was on the set just recently for 2 days, and it's got to be a couple $100,000, maybe $1 million production. And there was not one photographer hired on that set. And we had a couple other projects we did. We did a project for Sprite and Anthony Edwards. And even on that set, it was a 12-hour set, and photography had 20 minutes with them. Mm. And like, I'm starting to notice the pattern where it's like, these cameras are so good, they can pull photos from the video. So
TikTok changed a lot of that.
Like it's evolving. We have to evolve with it. So it's scary times for sure.
I have made up my mind that I don't think I want to have a photography business past 55.
Yeah.
Not because it is. So the person who sent this to me was asking me, how do I feel about this? The apps that we have, the apps that your children is on, if your children got an iPad, your child has an iPad, and they are on a social media app of anything, the biggest thing that they're worried about is screen time. How long can we keep them on this screen?
Yeah.
So when it comes to making content, it's the reason why content, went from photo to video, because I can look at your photo, like it. Yo, I don't care if she's the thickest of the thick. How long are you going to stare at a photo? Probably shorter than if it's a video of her walking away.
That is true.
You're going to watch that video at least 3 times.
Yeah.
Because you got to check. And dudes so horny, we be checking for different things. Like, yo, which cheek is bigger? If she got dents? Is she wearing drawers? It's so much that we think about, right? So when
AI has kind of ruined some of it though, because it's like, bro, there's this one young lady that I follow, and like she's fine, but I ain't gonna lie, like first few times I was like, I think this shit is AI.
Yeah,
and it's like that's kind of ruining the experience, because if you have like a blue check mark and you say something crazy on Twitter, I'll be honest, I mute you and block you immediately.
Yeah.
Because it's like I don't know if you're being serious or if you're just trying to bait people so you can get that check.
Absolutely.
Right. And it's the same thing when I see now, like even the ideal of something that captures your imagination. It's like, if I gotta try to figure out if you AI are real, I'm blocking.
Please block it, because what's gonna happen is they're gonna keep sending it to you.
Yeah.
And force you. So with me, I understood a long time ago, because I stay up on photography, that social media channels were moving towards video, because they know they can keep somebody's eyes on their app way longer. So they prioritize that. So did social media actually ruin photography? No, because what Drake dad said on his album, like, the real shit gonna last. All that bullshit is here today and gone tomorrow. Like,
no, that's true. That's true.
And
I like that.
So what happens is the real photographers are still out here making money. They still doing bookings. They are still booked and busy. But what happens is people that take the shortcuts are coming in and finding unique ways. So now you have photographers like, oh, I got to make reels instead of posting photos, and they get burnt out and they keep going. What happens is social media is devaluing art, just art in general. And I'm not talking about photography. I'm talking about these artists on here who making AI paintings and they making an Etsy shop and selling it to you.
Yeah.
And you run into another person and say, hey, I'm an actual artist. I'm a painter. And then you say, oh, can you create something for me? And they charge you for a commission. And then you just like, no, that's too much.
Yeah.
We are dumbing down arts in this country. You know what's so funny? I went to University Park this weekend.
Okay.
My shout out to the Joes. Their babies were getting dedicated, so we went there. And we got in the car. First of all, church was so long, bruh. Mike knows this. I've been going to a majority white church.
It is a mixed denomination church.
Me and my wife have had this debate 3 times, and this is a majority white church.
It's a mixed denomination.
It's
church.
diverse, but it's majority white. That's fair.
I think it's a lot of Latinos there.
It's a lot of Caribbean folks there.
Yeah.
But 60%. But the point is, their church is an hour and 15, an hour and 20 minutes max. I go to this church, black church. I ain't been to a black church in probably about 10 years. You know what I'm saying? I'm still connected. But bruh, it was 3 hours. Now, the music. The music was out of this world. I was actually very, very shocked. And this ain't an ad for them, because they ain't paid me. But the music's great. I get in the car and I tell my wife, I said, you know why the music great? I said, this is the first time I've been to a church and they got 3 trumpet players. They got a trombone player. They have 3 saxophone players, 3 dudes on guitars. Like I said, and nobody, probably 60% of their musicians look like they was 16 or 17.
Yeah.
And I said, how many times have we grown up in the church and we know somebody starts band and we don't say, hey, you want to play for the children's choir so you can get practice? Everybody gets better through practice.
Well,
right?
practice and also get paid.
That's how we lose the musicians.
That's how we lose musicians, because we don't pay the musicians. Like.
Absolutely not. But I got better at photography by practicing every day. And it wasn't until somebody asked me how often I practice. I'm like, when I show up to a shoot, and they was like, oh, you'll never get better. And I was like, okay. They was like, you have to practice every day. Pick up your camera, try something, try to do something, try to look at the light and be like, oh, it's trash, blah, blah, blah. Let me see the best picture I can get. And I was looking at those young musicians up there. I'm like, they probably play here all through the week. And their school probably don't understand why they're the best in their school at playing the trumpet or the trombone. It's like they practicing at a very high level, because if you playing there, you're at University Park, one of the biggest, maybe the biggest black church in Charlotte.
Them a friendship.
or House of Prayer got something to say, but you don't mess with them because they do not take smoke lightly. But it was just cool. So I don't know if social media is killing photography. I know that the world is dumbing down art, but we're not going to realize it till it's too late. And then,
but that's always the case with arts, like, which is why there's always a renaissance, right? Whenever there's a renaissance, what is it? It's the arts, right?
Yeah.
So there's always a dumbing down in human history, of the arts, and then it makes a comeback. Typically, when we're all poor and destitute, and someone rich says, "Hey, let's bring back the arts." So it's always, the Harlem Renaissance took place. Was it during the Depression or right after the Depression? I forget. Like, I believe
right after.
Yeah, so I mean, it might even been during, because I mean, we were already struggling by the time the rest of the country started struggling. So that's always the case, when it comes to art. And we're gonna talk about AI later, because now I finally realized what they're doing with all you guys' catalogs.
Well, I told you. Well, we'll get there. All right, let's start this.
I'm Pastor Mike Will.
Now, I am Gavin B. Welcome to service. Sit down. The Black Dads Club. What the hell is the point of this podcast? Let's do it like that.
If you are a black male and you're in a jam, hit me up. I'll get you out.
Trying to save black men.
We give black men a place to be seen, a place to be heard.
Sometimes I got to push back because be lying.
They do, but so do women. So that's what makes the pod cool.
Strap in. It's about to be fun.
Now let's begin.
I want to welcome everybody to episode 203, I believe, of the Black Dads Club. That is Pastor Mike Will. Y'all still, his name and moniker is whooping y'all ass every week. And he's requested for me not to correct y'all anymore. So I just get a laugh at my house. Also, I do have to let Mike know, stop liking videos about Colombia. My wife gets notified of these videos, and she was just like, look at your boy. And I was like, yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. I think one of the videos I actually sent to you, and she was like, look at Mike in the comments. So you liked it. Because, Instagram is telling on you. It says like by. And I'm like, God dang. Which is funny in there.
All right, I'll stop. For the sake of my boy's home.
Yes. Oh, yes. It's going to save me.
I'll stop liking the clip.
Somebody hit me up today and was like, yo, you going back? I'm like, no.
Dude, they just be funny. They just be funny.
Oh, the videos are hilarious.
Like the videos be hilarious, because that's my algorithm. I'm truly not a passport, bro. That's the other hilarious part. But I do love Colombia though.
Yeah.
So it's just so funny. Like actually, like one of the videos gets sent to me by one of my friends down there. Yeah. So like she sends me all the ones from what was the Al Bundy's Married to Sophia. What's the name of that show?
Oh,
there's like a page dedicated to it.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like,
Modern
Family.
Yeah.
So she's like, send me the clips, bro. And they be so hilarious, man.
Look, I love it. But yes, let me go look up the dad's tip of the week, and I'm gonna bring it right back to y'all. Give me a second. Before we get to the dad tip of the week, I have a read. Dun, 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 dun. First of all, I want to let everybody know, hold on. CLTBLKGLD. That stands for Charlotte Black Gold. Please go look them up on Instagram. Check them out. They are sponsoring this podcast, and I officially have a read. Here we go. Where did shit start? Oh, sorry. Cut that out your ad right there. Anyway, looking for the best Black-owned spots in the Queen City, from soulful bites to creative art and cocktails that hit just right. Charlotte Black Gold has you covered. Discover Charlotte hidden gems from restaurants, bars, boutiques, galleries, and more, all in one place. Support locals, celebrate culture, explore. See, this is why you gotta get Mike who can read to do this.
Got to start it over.
Heck no. Explore Black Excellent and Charlotte Black Gold, your guide to the bold, the beautiful, and the Black owned. I want to tell everybody right now, I need you to go on Instagram and look up CLTBLKGOD. This is one of our listeners. This is why this ad is so special, and we had to do it. This is one of our listeners. He has compiled a list of Black-owned businesses in Charlotte and made a list, and it's over 200 spots on this list. First of all, if somebody would have told me it's 200 Black-owned spots in Charlotte, I would have said you lying.
Yeah, I would have not believed that.
But when you look at the pins on there, and it's a little bit of everything. It's like, hey, let's go to the Babe Cave. Apparently, all the ladies be there, just to give y'all some heads up.
GLD. Is CLTBLKGLD.
Yes. Look them up. It's super cool. And I love to see all the Black businesses tapping in over there as well. Look, we just wanted to support. Shout out to Marcus. I think what you're doing is dope. I think this can translate into something even bigger that you haven't figured out. I can't wait till you get the app. I can't wait till this goes to every city. I can't wait till you start creating holiday Christmas lists of places where people should shop
this
at.
is a restaurant right here that I did not even know. 321 North Caldwell. So I got So I'm gonna go through this. You know what? There's a lady out there that want to meet out for a date.
Okay.
I'm gonna use this list. This is gonna be my date list.
All right. And this is dope. You know what I'm saying? We need more of this stuff because every time one of these apps pop up or one of these businesses pop up of like the Black Directory, Marcus, I hope I ain't finna kill your business plan. They end up charging people to get on it, right? Or they go out of business quick because having these type of things isn't cheap.
Yeah.
It ain't easy. And but look, shout out to Charlotte Black Gold. I love this idea. I can't wait to use it myself. And look, man, thank you for supporting us. He been supporting us since the bad.
Yeah, no, appreciate everybody. Like I say, man, we got the greatest audience out there, and I can't wait for it to grow. I think that's what's stopping some people from putting us onto their networks to distribute. Because I think you're like, yo, they're gonna take some of our audience. It's like, no, man, people can listen to more than one pod.
Would you sign to a podcast if they had us? Sign to a network if they had us being sponsored by a brand you don't agree with?
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care because, like, you know, I would have a problem if you was like, yo, your opinion has to change because this is the brand. But if you're just like, hey, I don't care who runs the ad. I mean, bro, I'm trying to think of somebody who I hate. But someone that I hate, right? If they was at the beginning of the pod, like I really would not care. It has nothing to do with me.
On a lower schedule level, this has nothing to do. That was just something I was thinking of. I thought about that because I saw Poor Minds. Backwoods is one of their sponsors.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I was like, not that I have a problem with Backwoods, but I'm not a smoker. I don't know how I would do, not how I would feel, because I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Most people know I worked at a smoke shop for 7 years and didn't know not one thing in there because I'd never been in there before. And I don't know how I got the job as a marketing manager, but
you pull what your boy pulled.
Yes. I don't know how I got that job, but I will tell you this. When I got there, they had 14 stores. When I left, they had 27. I ain't had nothing to do with that, but I did market it. But anyway, I was just thinking about that. I'm like, dang, I don't know if Lex or what's my other sister name? I only know Lex because of.
But I mean, but it also depends, like, because what network are they on? Because speaking of networks,
they on 85 South.
They're on 85 South.
Mm-hmm. So it makes sense for 85 South with Carlo and all that.
And then I wonder because I know the other ladies pod, our first viral reel, Good Moms Bad Choices, right?
Yeah, they no longer around, right?
No, they're still around. They're still around, but I think they also have a deal with back because they're active smokers. Like on the pod, they smoke, and I wonder what you know what I'm saying. I wonder if it's like more of a distro deal. So I'm saying all that, like, yo, if Glenn Beck signed us and he wanted us to parrot, you know, Patriot Gold and stuff, play the ad. I don't care. There
you go. Dad tip of the week: do not punish your failures or the failures of others around you. You know, I think about this when you create a team, especially in business, and somebody who might be on your team fails, and it's easy to focus on how they failed, why they failed, and you keep punching that in their ear. And I just, you know what it was? My dad had to talk my mom out of this, and it didn't go on for a long time at all. But it was just one of the things my dad would always say, like, all right, you got it off, let's move on. Yeah. Because what the issue can come in is you keep reminding your kid about what they did wrong. Mm-hmm. And then next thing you know, they just get on now your kid no longer likes you. Right? Or they no longer grow. Or they can't never, you can't. A lot of times we like to look at them like, oh, let's look at why you failed. And you keep going. And then it's like, all right, remember the next time you do this, you failed and it's like, yo, stop focusing on those things and then focus on like, what's the next step also. As far as how do we go from here to there and keep it moving. So do not punish your failures. Please don't do it for your kids. Please don't do it for your coworkers. A lot of y'all businesses ain't growing because your coworkers or your workers don't like you.
Oh, well, I mean, facts.
And you know what I'm saying? You always tell them how they failed the last presentation.
But I mean, that it's easy to do. Like I was actually talking to one of my friends, also a listener to the pod, and I was explaining to her. I was like, "Yo, I'm kind." I was like, "I'm not nice." You know what I'm saying? But I was like, I'm really, really kind. Like, I treat everybody the same no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Which means I treat everybody fair. I care about everybody. I don't care if you could do something for me in order for me to treat you like you're a human. I don't care if you're above me. I don't care if you're beneath me, right? I'm going to be nice to you. And I don't care how y'all going to hate this part. How you treat me does not correlate with how I'm going to treat you, right? I'll remove myself from you, right? If you're going to mistreat me, I'm just going to remove myself because I recognize that sometimes that mistreatment comes from something embedded deeply, right? Whether it's a hurt or if it's a trauma, right?
Yeah.
So, but I was like, nice is an exchange, right? It's this ideal of I'm doing something. Like a lot of people are nice to people that are above them, right? But they're not nice to people that are beneath them. You know what I'm saying? And that's like, yo, those two things are different. So a lot of times when we're having these conversations about punishment, right? It's like, well, no, you will recognize real quickly if that you won't talk to your boss like that is I guess what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? You'll talk to somebody that's beneath you, right? But you won't talk to your boss, or you'll talk to somebody that's co-equal to you, but you won't talk to your boss. So you understand how to not do it. So when you do it, that means that you don't respect the person in front of you, and there's a refusal to care about that person in front of you. And I think that is a symptom of this country in general.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know how that go.
Yeah.
Speaking of this country, today is election day. I hope y'all are at the polls right now as you're listening. Please go out and vote. This is the local election, so it ain't like craziness.
Yeah, but you still need to vote because we got a stupid measure on our ballot today, raising sales tax another percent. And sales tax in Charlotte is already at 7.25%, and you're gonna make it 8.25%. And look, here's the thing: when sales tax started getting around 10%, I need y'all to just throw it in the price, okay? Because you will make me stop shopping. I cannot buy something, and every time I buy something, I see an extra $6-7 on there at the bottom of it. You're gonna have to if this sales tax pass, it is going to make people like myself stop shopping.
Yeah.
I can't stand that. I don't want to see an extra 50, 60, 70, $80 every time I buy something.
Yeah, well, I put no at the bottom of it.
Fold it into the price. Fold it. I'm 100% voting it because, for one, when I looked up what they was using it for, and again, this is why local elections are so important, is because they're like, yo, this is for transportation, it's for light rail, all the things that tug at your heartstrings, right? But y'all sold our toll roads to a private company that's outside of the country.
I don't think we ever owned those.
Well, it's our land, though.
Yeah, I know. And so that's what...
And it's built on our land.
And that's what got me thrown off, because when somebody told me that, I was like, what could be the reason that we would make a foreign company own this?
Well...
And it's probably fronting money.
It is front money, right? So one of the things that I was taught in managerial accounting, right, is what do they call it? The time basis of money or whatever. So basically, money today is more valuable than money down the road, right? So, you know, if you win the lottery, right, you take the lump sum payout because supposedly you'll be able to invest that into stock market business. Yeah, right.
And plus, you might die in 2 days.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, you know, the time value of money is more important. Present value of money. Present time value of money. There we go. The present time value of money is more cost beneficial to have it now than down the road, right? Now, I agree with that. I understood that, but I was like, so who's financing for this money to be down the road? The money to be financed down the road is always people way richer than us.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So it's like, what? So why are the most rich companies, why are the most rich people, why they don't want the present time value of money? Why are they looking at money down the road?
So they can be rich for the next 100
There you
years.
go, man.
And I already told y'all this Charlotte toll systems here, especially when you sign up with that transponder, is BS. Look, I signed up with $25 a month. In probably 6 months, it was up to $70, and they was charging me that. And I was just like, yo, I couldn't get nobody on the phone. They don't answer emails. They love sending that shit to spam. And then finally, I got a sister on the phone. Shout out to you. Only way. And some of y'all probably asking how you know I got a sister. It was her voice. Sorry. And she wasn't ghetto. She sounded like my aunt. So that's all it was.
This is funny. So we just talked about this, and we're live recording, and I just got a text message. NAACP, vote no on Charlotte Transit 1% tax. Protect our neighborhood. Stop higher taxes and displacement. Not why I was voting. But here's the thing. It was like tax on working families raises the total sales tax to 14.25%, hurting seniors and low income residents already facing rising property value. I do not know how they came up with that number. But Let's see, no proof of equity. Plan offer no evidence it will uplift. Anyway, funny enough, we're talking about this, and even the NAACP, which is typically on the wrong side of most issues in the 2020s, have said no. So
yeah, I'm not going for that. Like y'all figure it out, and it is what it is. But yeah, if you ever want to get your if you ever want to get your toll number down from the monthly thing, stop taking it for 2 months. I promise you, they'll just lower it back.
Just sit in traffic for 2 months.
Or take back roads. It's gonna suck, but once you see like, all right, they ain't ripping me, because what they started doing was they was getting me when I run out, they would reload with the 70. And then when the first of the next month came, they would hit me with another 70. And I was just like, yo, how much money y'all think this photography is paying? Y'all already saying AI taking my job. I don't have no money. But yes, if you go and vote, at least in Charlotte, I would say it's probably only 6 things you voting on. If you're in District 3, please vote for Joy Mayo. Choose Joy. I will be with her later today to help celebrate. This is a woman who I met on a headshot session. And she was a school teacher. And she really cared about Nations Ford and her district. She used to talk to me about that all the time. And she was very passionate about it. You gotta be thankful for the people, that teaches your kids, but then who say, hey, I want to fix my neighborhood.
Absolutely.
I was talking to one of our listeners, funny enough, she was like, I'm about to move. I'm like, why? And she was like, my property value about to go down because of my neighborhood. And I already know it. She's like, I'm in a great neighborhood. I got a big house. It's a new neighborhood, but I didn't already seen who moving in the back end of the neighborhood, and the value about to go down. She said it's just the truth.
Yeah.
Granted, she's in the real estate, so she get to see different numbers that we don't. And so, but you gotta, Joy is somebody who I was speaking to who cared very much about her neighborhood, and she started working in her neighborhood and her district, and she decided to run. And she became the Democratic nominee. So that's super dope. And so she's on the ballot for District 3. And I've been at several of her events, sometimes taking photos, sometimes just to be like, yo, what's up? Like, and I texted her last week when she became, last election. What was that? 2 months ago?
I don't know.
Yeah, it might have been. It was a few months back where you could go in and vote for people that was going to be on this.
On this one. Yeah.
Yeah. And I told her, I was like, I'm super proud of you. Because when I met you, this was not on your heart.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or at least you didn't share that with me. But now we're a few years later and you, the Democratic nominee, I think it's super dope. So congrats to her. Bakari has something interesting
Speaking
to say.
of Democrats.
Is Bakari a Democrat?
I'm almost certain Bakari is a Democrat.
Hey, Bakari, I got something to say. If you ever are in the Charlotte area, you want to come sit with us. We ain't doing no Zoom call. You got to come sit with us, buddy. I do want to talk to you. I got some questions for you. And I want to talk to you about that podcast, but hey, we went to college. I ain't saying we're intelligent, but I'm saying we went to college. Take that how y'all want to, because not Bakari, but the internet says if you go to college, you're not intelligent, which is true. But I got to be somewhat smart. Graduated.
I mean, everything we say is on the record, so just go through the content.
Here's Bakari Sellers on his thoughts on Democrats running in the future.
Garland prosecuted Donald Trump the way we see other dignitaries in other countries prosecuted, we wouldn't be here. Democrats are going to have the courage in 2028 to run on the fact that they are going to prosecute those individuals who profoundly flaunted the law and not do what Democrats do, which is just to say, America wants to turn the page. Let's wash our hands of this and not mention it. And so I think that looking back at history is a great metric for looking forward at what we should expect from especially people running for president of the United States.
Mike, why do you disagree? It's the first comment that pops up.
I did respond to that clip. Democrats do not do this. Matter of fact, DNC, for the love of God, just please hire me on as a consultant. You're going to hate everything I say. And you're going to realize that I'm just early on most of the things because it's going to come to pass.
So what is Bakari's stance and what don't you agree
with?
So
Bakari is saying that the Democrats need to run on, we're going to prosecute every Republican, right?
Okay.
Let me tell you why that doesn't work. America has shifted to the right, right? America typically stays middle left or middle right, right? Okay. We used to be middle left. We're not middle left anymore. The country is middle right, period, point blank. Look who the billionaires all siding with, right? Look who they're friends with, okay? That's where your power basis is, all right? Mm-hmm. And so if you have this idea where you're like, hey, we're going to go out there and prosecute everybody that's done everything wrong, there's a lot of people that are doing things wrong because they're in the gray area. Right.
Okay.
So they don't want the light shine on what they did. Right. I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. What I'm saying is you can't go to the person that's in power and say, hey, I'm going to take power from you and then prosecute you. Because guess what the person in power is going to do? Everything they can to stay in power.
Okay.
Not only will they do everything they can to stay in power, they're now are going to put the full force of the state on your ass. All right?
True.
So no, you don't go to the Democrat and say, hey, Democrat, what we need to say is nobody in America gives a damn about prosecuting Donald Trump or this administration. They don't. Look at the poll numbers. Look at the dude. The dude has a favorable rating now on the immigration policy. It's a favorable. It went up 4 points.
Oh.
It's 52%. Mostly Hispanics support him, by the way.
Yeah, well.
So this idea that's like, yo, everybody agree. Just because you feel a way doesn't mean that that's how the country feel. Now, Democrats, there is a path to success, okay? There's a pathway to success, right? Which is to run on bringing back microchip jobs to this country, cell phone jobs to this country, right? Like actually building these products, turning community colleges into places of education where people can get these jobs. There is a pathway to saying, hey, working class America, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to bring these type of jobs and industries back to the United States of America, right? Infrastructure bills. This is how you have a pathway of winning, not prosecution. All right. Success, right? Telling Americans that you are going to be successful again. And guess what? Once you win, in 2028, and then you win the midterms because you actually start implementing the things to bring the jobs back to this country, and you have a supermajority in the House and the Senate, now you can prosecute motherfuckers. You ain't got to not do it. But you don't tell motherfuckers what you're going to do before you do it.
I agree with that last point. His current rating at the end of October overall, I know you've seen a particular issue, is 37.
Which is real, honestly, let's be honest, way too high. So that means that there's a favorable, there's a favorable fervor in this country for him.
Yeah, I mean, but 37 approval ain't good.
It's not good, but it should be 25%. It should be 18%. It's nowhere near where it should be, considering what this administration is doing.
Okay, I totally get what you're saying. I always think about, like, I know how I'm gonna vote. I'm one of those people who do get out there and vote. I vote in every election, just to be fair. Like I got scared one time, and you know what? I did miss one election because y'all like to go look up voter records. I missed one. Oh my gosh, bro! I thought it was like a midterm or something, but it was like the one that I just did 2 months ago, and I was like so happy to find out I missed that one versus whatever, right? Yeah. I'm at that age now where I am looking at what's going on locally.
Yes.
Because I understand that really, really affects me, right?
Yep.
I am also one of those people looking at where art and grant money going to.
True.
Because that's the profession I'm in.
It's important to you.
Yeah, it's super important to me. I guess my biggest thing that'll make me go look at Democrats is saying, like, honestly, I'm at that point in my life, like, what are you doing for black people? Like, what are you doing for black and brown people? And that's the major turnoff, because I ain't gonna lie. I knew what time it was with Kamala when she gave us the black and brown agenda, and that was a turnoff, right?
It was, and we talked about it again.
Yeah, we talked about it enough.
What we say is on record, right?
Yeah.
So there's not a flip flopping that's going on, nor is there a double down, because it's like, yo, once something changes, like, yo, the opinion changes, right?
Yeah.
Like we spoke on Kamala, but when it was coming around election, we was just like, yo, I don't like it. But I'm going to hold my nose. But after it was over, it wasn't like, well, let me flip-flop like Stephen A. Smith and tell you why the other side is better. It's just like, you know what? They won.
Yeah.
And that's what. And again, that's how it happens in a democracy. One of the things that does get on my nerve with Republicans and Democrats is the moment the other side wins, the other side just loses hope and be like, this is the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, that's what voting looks like. Like voting isn't right when it's going your way. Sometimes it's going to go the other way. But it's like, yo, that's a democracy.
Speaking of flip-floppers, I love transitions on 10 today. I hope y'all into politics. We ain't going to be on politics too much longer. Matter of fact, I think that's all we got for politics. But hold on. Speaking of flip-floppers, I do love this clip. I got to get Kiki out of this. And who you said this is?
This could be Tiffany Cross. And I don't know.
Huh?
She's on the Native Land podcast. Yes. I don't know if this clip is on the Native Land podcast.
No, it's not on the Native Land podcast. This is actually on the People's Brief.
All right.
That's the name of this on Revolt. Here we go.
Podcast is the face of anti-intellectualism. I think it's part of a larger conversation and larger landscape, and that was definitely highlighted in the exchange between Mark Lamont Hill, professor at Morehouse, Iris Spelman alum, and Flip, one of the other co-hosts. What I did not say, though, and I want to be really clear about this, intellect to me has nothing to do with degrees, pedigree, money, because so many people are like, this is elitist and this is classism, and I just think it's a sad state in America where we think being smart is somehow being elite, where you can tell people it's a time for reading books and they're somehow offended by that. So I did not intend to, target or offend anyone, but I definitely stand by my comments on it is a time for intellectual curiosity. We are seeing our core democratic principles crumble in this country. We are seeing our rights being taken away. Every piece of information is not going to come with a little dope hip hop beat and a dance on the TikTok. Like, sometimes you actually have to read, and it's not always going to be in a stanza on social media. There are books that talks about fighting fascism. Angela recommended Asada to me. I happened to be reading it when she passed away. The lessons I've gotten from that book. We've recommended books to each other. So I hope that they will take the opportunity to have more informed conversations, even though they're an entertainment podcast. I think we got to fight this battle on any front, every front.
She flip-flop, but I agree with her. That's the problem I got. That's my internal battle.
Yeah, and again, right, that is the problem. Because for one, Charlamagne had to come in and kind of save y'all from the Joe Budden podcast. Because y'all were getting ate up by the audience.
True.
Because what you said was elitism. Right? Like when
yeah.
The comment that they made about Mark Lamont and him coming home, right, was wasn't anti-black. But it was elitism.
Yeah.
It was elitism. So, and it's like now y'all trying to walk it back because y'all starting to realize that, a lot of educated men do listen to the Joe Budden podcast.
Yeah, I think they figured that out. I think when I heard their comments, and let's be honest, it was only Tiffany and Angela. Andrew and Bakari was on the sideline like, hey, I don't know enough about this to speak.
Well, Bakari did say Mark Lamont called him stupid.
Mark Lamont did call Flippin' D stupid. He did. He did it.
I know, but he had to repeat that.
Oh, well, I mean, it's the most viral clip on the internet.
Yeah.
You ain't got to repeat it, but it's right there.
Yeah, it's right
but
there.
He not misrepresenting what happened.
No.
Representing, excuse me.
Yeah.
But what I will say is what the ladies did at that time was nasty work, but I think they didn't really know how Mark give it up on the Joe Budden podcast. I could tell, and all four people said they don't listen to Joe Budden. I could tell after listening to that clip. Because if you hear what Mark says and get off all the time on the pod, you'll realize he's the smart dude or the intelligent dude in the barbershop. Hey, I still like coming to the hood barbershop. I still like getting my hair cut here. I just so happen to be the most intelligent person in the room. So I get that. Now, let's take it a step further. Joe Budden is an elitist. I don't know if anybody listens to that podcast or hear him. He literally makes it his business to show that, hey, now that I have money, I do not engage. And here's the other thing, I will say this. I'm done trying to guess if you are playing a part on your podcast or not. I'm going to just take it as face value.
Yeah.
And if I kick your back in on the way that you represent to 3 million people twice a week, cool.
Yeah.
It's on you to change that narrative.
Yes.
So Joe Budden makes it his business. Now, are we looking at people who host degrees and who love reading and who find love in being educated more? Do we try to label them as elitists? Absolutely. And that's why I agree with her, because I do see people, for instance, when they're in the community and they're talking to these other podcasts, where when they talk about Joe Budden and they talk about Mark, they kind of there's an argument. Yo, just because Mark is a doctor don't mean he's smart.
Yeah, I mean, and that's true to a certain extent. But obviously, Mark is intelligent.
Absolutely.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So
that's the problem I have.
Yeah. So it's like, I get it, especially when people, there is a anti-intellectualism that is going on in this country, right?
Yes.
Our current administration is proof positive of that, right?
Absolutely.
But that anti-intellectualism is because of the elitism, right? So there's a seesaw here, right? Mm-hmm. And at different times, one of these places are high and the other places is low. So the balance is finding out, what's the middle ground. But one of the things that I do hate is when people are the black bourgeoisie, right? Where it's like, well, we're better because we have a college degree. You know what I'm saying? But
see, I don't even get that from people. Like, we better maybe see, the black bourgeoisie don't strike me as the people who's like, hey, I have a degree, I'm better. I think that has to come with money. Well, and access to different things. Yes
and no, but a lot of the ideal. Let's put it like this: the way that the ladies from the Native Land podcast were speaking to the gentleman of the Joe Budden podcast was in the sense of it had nothing to do with money, because there's a really good chance that the guys from the Budden podcast has more money, right?
No, that's a fact.
Yeah. So it came from this ideal of I'm better than you. Why? Well, why? Like, what makes you better than me? And I so when I throw the ideal of education out there, that becomes part of the problem, right? Because I can't tell you how many times I'll have a political conversation with people that are political astute and savvy, right? And I'll say, all right, well, what's the far right of give me the furthest right you can go on the political spectrum, right? And they'll be like fascism. And I'm like, okay, well, give me the farthest left you can go on the left schedule, right? They have no clue. Right? Yeah. They have no clue that the answer is revolutionary socialism, which is socialism, which becomes communism. They can't even make the connection, right? Yeah. They think all things bad are on the right. Yeah. And it's like, yo, that right there, even though you are college educated, is a level of elitism, but it's also a level of anti-intellectualism, because you do not have intellectual curiosity, right? You have this ideology of my opinion matters so much, and I have so much belief in my opinion that I must be right, especially if I have status or education.
Yeah, and that's where it comes. The black bourgeoisie comes to me, is that status, because I've been around black people who grew up in, rich suburbs that, hey, I thought I had a nice house and I went to y'all house and I was like, all right, whatever. It's on the water. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? For them, yo, bro, they don't finish college. Yeah. But they will let you know that, yo, you don't belong here. Yeah. And so, but then you do run into those people who's like, hey, I am super educated, or I am educated. But you know what? Those individuals don't never go back. They don't never go to educated areas and get this shit off. They go back to the hood. They go back to where everybody's at. They come back to the cookout, to the family reunion. And
or you don't have the same energy, right?
Yeah. And it's totally different. So I get it there. Also, I am with her. I do agree with Tiffany on this too. Like, while a lot of us have entertainment podcasts, we can't hide behind this. And I did it last week because, to be funny, that was the joke part of it, was like, yo, get your news from a news site. Yeah. Right. While we have entertainment podcasts, we do have to be informed with the information we're spreading, right? Because you don't know who you reaching. And I'll give you a perfect example of this. And not to kick Joe's and them back in. Last week, they were having a conversation about the mayor race in New York. Mandani, Cuomo, and I can't think of the other guy's name, right? And Ish was getting his shit off. Yeah. And saying how Mandani is doing what Trump did. He can't fix any of the stuff he's saying, right? Which is cool. All right, cool, bet. I hear you. I don't know. I'm not up there, so I know it's a national thing, but I'm not paying close attention who's gonna be the mayor of New York. Right? And so Mark asked him twice. He asked him a couple questions. Ish he wouldn't answer. Then Mark said, well, Ish's point was, yo, he can't make the buses free. And Mark said, well, why can't he? He said, not that I believe he can, but why can't he? He said, you ain't got the power to do it. He don't even know how you're going to pay it. He said, well, he did list out how he could pay it. And Mark is saying, hey, I'm in Jersey. I just got up here from Philly. Yeah. But Mark is saying, do you think his plan is going to work? Ish said, I don't know his plan. Then he asked Ish another question. Ish was saying like something else he couldn't do. I think it was lowering groceries or something. He said, no, he explained how he going to do that. He said, do you know anything about, have you seen or read this man's plan? It said, no. He said, well, I don't know how you can give us how he can't do something. And I think that's what happens on a lot of podcasts. A lot of us, and I've said this plenty of times, we go into these barbershops, we're around dumber people, we say things, we repeat things. Nobody is intelligent enough to argue with you or to ask what you said a couple podcasts ago. Sometimes you just got to ask the other person questions. Yeah. And they'll lose the argument for themselves.
Exactly.
And we do got to get better at being on educated platforms or being more informed, not even educated, but being more informed.
Being more informed is the perfect way to say it.
Yeah, but Tiffany said it. I ain't taking credit for it.
Yeah, but I mean, but even
informed.
But again, right? It's so easy to be entertaining. Let's just say that, right? Like part of the allure of Black Dads Club, even though every podcast we tackle an important issue, right?
Yes.
But all around that important issues, for the 7 minutes that we talk about that important issue, right?
Sex work get brought.
It's 53 minutes of yapping.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, well, I mean, that's low key like a condition of the requirement. Like it's not like if we could just sit here and talk about serious things and go viral, we would do it.
Well, let's keep it real. You know why this bothers the Native Land podcast?
Why?
Because Joe Budden get 3 million views every week, and we can go look at the Native Land downloads, and I guarantee you it ain't 300,000.
Yeah,
and
probably so.
If the Native Land was getting 3 million people every week to listen to their podcast, they wouldn't give a damn what Mark Lamont Hill was doing on his platform.
They absolutely, that's the bigger point. It's like a lot of time, and I get it, right? Like part of the reason, like if you come to the late nights of Pastor Mike's, and this is not a plug, this is just something that I realize I've started doing. It's like I'll go through the old YouTube clips, right? Because like now it's in my algorithm, so I'm pulling like so many things of like our ancestors and our elders, and I'm like, man, like if I did it on the pod, no one would listen. It would be so boring because on Wednesday night nobody listened, right? But it's like a pet project of mine.
Yeah.
And it's like you have to understand that like on here, like yo, I get to talk about sex work, and you know, Gavin get to crack jokes about me in Colombia, and we get to do all that, right? And it's like, yo, that's funny, that's entertaining, right? But you know, when we talk about the big things, right? When we talk about a panel full of, you know, civil rights leaders from the 1950s and what they're dealing with and how that is very, very relatable to today, that's not going to get the clicks.
No, it's not. But that's just where our world is right now.
It's not going to get the clicks.
Big deal or no deal, Billboard has announced that there are no rap songs are in the top 100, top 40. So Billboard's top 40 for the, you know, they top 100 list. There's no rap songs since 1990. Big deal or no deal?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's some guy on a pretty up and coming podcast that said a couple years ago that it was rap music was dead, and was vehemently disagreed with by most folks. So I don't know.
I think this is a no deal. Billboard changed their rules.
Well, I mean, but they are a magazine that's beholden to record labels.
Yeah,
they're gonna always do that. Matter of fact, I don't even know if they're a magazine beholden. There's a good chance they're owned by a record label. Like, I don't know.
What they get paid by.
Yeah, so it's like,
I mean, it is what it is. I think this is a nothing. It's a big nothing. Only simply because the rules have changed. We're gonna see a lot more music. You're gonna see a lot more music come and go. So basically, what happened is they have it very scaled out. So basically, if your song is beyond a certain amount of weeks and it falls below a certain number, your song would just get pulled from Billboard.
Yeah.
So what happened is, if they would have not changed the rules, then Drake would have still been there. Kendrick would have still been there anyway. Like Kendrick Luther, I think, was like a top 10 song, or at least a top 20 song.
Yeah.
But because it's been there for so many weeks and it fell below number 5, it automatically just gets taken out.
Yeah.
So, and you know what? If we keeping it real, if it ain't Jay-Z, who doesn't do music no more, even though he got an album coming.
He really?
Yeah, allegedly he got an album coming. If it ain't Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole when he feels like it, Uzi, Travis Scott, and
I gotta laugh.
Cardi.
That is so J. Cole when he feels like it.
Yeah, and Cardi, and Meg. If it ain't y'all 7, nobody else is getting in the Billboard's top 100 anyway from rap. So but I mean, look, Taylor Swift gets all 20 of her songs in the top 20. Guess what happens the next week when any of those songs fall below 5? Gone. You know what I'm saying? After a certain week, if it's not there, or it's like weird, if it's like been 5 weeks and it falls below 50, it automatically get taken out. All those songs are going to be gone. It's going to happen to every artist. There's only a couple of artists that's going to be able to hold that. And I would love to know why Billboard did this, and they never going to tell us. But like I said, they are owned by the labels anyway.
But I mean, you know, again, I was listening to the album I had dropped in group chat. I forget the name of it, right? And it's basically a 1940 version, a jazz version of all of 50 Cent's, songs and albums
Yeah.
or whatever. And I think they're trying to figure out what they can bring back like that. And when you do that, you don't need anything to chart for, a year anymore, right?
Yeah.
Because now you could just remaster music, repurpose it.
Yeah.
And then you could just keep dropping hits. And then when something becomes a hit, I mean, you own it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because everybody done sold their catalogs for the most part, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, bruh, I don't have to pay you for any of your music right now. I could just repurpose. And again, the AI repurposing is actually, I hate to even say this. It's good.
I mean, it's a machine spitting out stuff.
Yeah,
But
and it's taking stuff that was. I don't know if AI can create it on its own. You know what I'm saying?
AI is doing nothing but sampling.
Yeah, but and that's what it is. It is like resampled music. But the thing is, we love sample music. I mean, would Bad Boy be Bad Boy without samples?
Yeah, but at least we knew who Bad Boy had to pay to sample it.
Yeah, true.
AI is gonna sample,
but they've bought it though. They don't have to pay anybody. They're literally just paying themselves because they own the catalogs now.
Well, they ain't even got to do that. You don't need nobody catalog to sample it. That's the other thing. Let's say you buy it. All right, this group owns all of Sony's. This group own all of that. If I get my AI thing to just hear music from everybody off of UMG, even though I'm a Sony, whatever. Look, you ain't gonna be able to say, "Hey, did this come from Drake? Did this come from Kendrick? Did this?" It's all gonna sound like one beat.
Yeah.
You're not gonna know. But here's the thing: every time something crazy like this happens, because somebody got cheated and they don't like to be, they got enough power, energy, and money to say, "Hey, I was cheated." What's gonna end up happening is one of these people are gonna get cheated. And they're going to make a big fuss about it. And then we're going to have laws for AI. So y'all better get this shit off now. Because when they start figuring out that, hey, this AI machine that's owned by this bank
we
here.
might be done with making laws against big business, bro. Like that era might be over.
It reminds me about when you used to put music in your podcast.
Yeah.
You can randomly play it. And then what happened is, this is how crazy the internet is. Instead of going to a Spotify and say, hey, every time the Black Dads Club plays this song or play a song, let's just give the money to the artist.
Yeah.
They said, no, we're just going to ban it. So they don't even want to pay the artist for that. They could have figured that out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they were just like, nah, we're not going to give artists no
Yeah, we're not
money.
gonna pay them anything.
Yeah, it's like whatever. But y'all know what y'all doing. There's this video. Let's play it. We got a little bit of time. Hold on. Ain't like y'all did. Nothing crazy this week happened besides the world finding out that Stefan Diggs got Cardi B and 3 other women pregnant.
Hey, was Cardi still at the game on Sunday?
Yeah, she was up there with Robert Kraft. But she got 2. Cardi B is in that Sierra list for me. And when I say it like that, no shade or anything weird to neither one of those ladies, but I believe that my thing about Sierra has always been, I think she's married to an idea more than she's married to Russell Wilson. And good for her because she benefits on both sides.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
She got her own prayer.
A win is a win, right?
Yeah, and you winning twice over. You winning that and you got Russell, right? But I think you're married more to that
the idea
than him, which is fine, cool. I think Cardi B has understood that, I left a man who embarrassed me and cheated on me, and I gotta state it again. He embarrassed her. He did her dirty. And she took him back, and the world called her stupid multiple times, and he still played her face, right? Cool. And then he turns around, you leave him, you get with a guy that the rumors are out there about him and how he get down. Part of those rumors, another rumor is that he cheats. And
technically, I don't think he's in a relationship with any of these women. So I not to shoot him bail, which I do, but I think he's saying that I'm not in a relationship with any of y'all like that. Like,
not no more because Cardi calls him her boyfriend.
Yeah.
At least she told Gail that, and Gail was so excited to see a woman. Gail, I love older women, and I ain't gonna do to you what Meg Thee Stallion did to you. But
leave the aunties alone.
Yeah, Gail, that was crazy. But yeah, it came out that he got 3 other baby moms. Like, that is crazy.
But does he have one on the way? Like right now,
all 4 of them are pregnant right now. That is
wild. Because for one, look, Stefan Diggs makes a lot of money, but like, bro, I don't know if you make that kind of money.
Well, yeah, and that's nasty.
Like living in Boston, I don't know if you make that kind of money.
Well,
bro.
one of my girls is worth $200 million, so I can get that one. I'm good on.
Yeah, this is.
He ain't paying child support for that.
This is true.
And I can't wait for Cardi B and Offset to get back together. That's just gonna make this story even better.
Man, Offset, he can't do it, man. She got a baby by somebody else. He ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, and in his song, he called himself Jordan. He called Stephon Diggs Rodman, which I don't know if that's a double entendre to the rumors of Stephon Diggs. Why, Dennis Rodman.
That's probably is a double entendre. Okay,
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, well, when that happened, I was like, I wonder why he calling him Robin. But hey, I leave all parties alone. But then, you know what I'm saying? And then you saying how you having a baby and you still married, which is crazy. But whatever. You do have a point. But, y'all know how it is. All right, here we go. Sorry, y'all. Sorry, that's me going off on my tangents.
But I think Kanye, musically wise, is a bigger genius than Jay-Z. And
Facts.
I think Jay-Z allowing him to go do that.
See, that's funny you say that. Because I don't think so.
No?
Nah. Like working on 444 with Hov, because I worked on Lemonade with Beyonce, right? Brilliant album. Very grateful for the Grammys. I wish we
Smooth
supposed to
name
got
dropping right
album
here.
of the year, but R&B album of the year, I take that. Hov works the least amount of hard on his music than anybody else I've ever met. Like with Kanye, we'll stay up 36 hours, go to sleep for 4, and come back and do another 30. Hov, he like, hey, I'm not disrespecting nobody, man. He's just too good, bro. Hov, ridiculous. I mean, Kanye and Hov for me is this. They just have different approaches. Hov would be like, hey, can you get to the studio at 6? Cool. By 10, he'd be like, bet. And we got 3 songs done. Kanye, you'll have 3 months and have no songs done.
I've heard that about Kanye multiple times.
I think there's more have to do with Kanye and his mental, his mental capacity than whether or not he can actually do it.
Yeah.
Because when he wanted to create Sunday Service, I mean, he came up with that idea and 6 months later the album was out.
Mm-hmm.
And low key that kind of changed. I hate to say it changed music because that just sounds way too big, but it did create. Kanye created the bridge that Kirk Franklin had been trying to create for 20 years.
Kanye has changed music probably 3 times.
Yeah.
Jay-Z has not changed music once.
Yeah,
I'm gonna leave that
I get what he's saying though, right? There's a genius in Jay-Z, and I believe that. I believe that Jay-Z can come in, create 3 songs. I mean, they say he wrote the West Coast Anthem, right? Like, we didn't even know he had wrote it. Like, that story is still legendary to this day.
Yeah.
That, they couldn't figure it out, and whoever hired Jay-Z comes in, writes it, and Snoop breaks the story, damn near 30 years later, like, yeah, Jay-Z wrote that.
Yeah. I mean, I get what he's trying to say, but right now, if I ever want to, and that's Malik Yuself, by the way. If I want to create music in the future, staying on the Carter's great side is a great way of doing it versus the West, who probably won't never put out another major album, at least in the next decade. But sorry, I got Kanye's. I might have, when it comes to hip hop music, Kanye. I think Kanye is the most important rapper of all time. I got him up there. Most important. I ain't saying the greatest. I'm just saying the way he has changed.
Most important.
Yeah, I got him up there. I think we had this that one time we talked about. I got him up there. I got him probably number 1. And it's, to me, it's between him and Tupac. But I think the sheer mystique and the impact that somebody has 25 years later or 20 years later after they've passed.
Well, I mean, and again, right? Like Tupac, being an East Coaster, going to the West Coast and completely changing that culture, if we're being honest. Like, what Tupac did, nobody...
In probably 6-7 years.
Yeah, 5 years, right?
Yeah,
nobody has come close to that on the West. I mean, I guess the closest have been what Kendrick is doing in the last 5 years or so, but no one comes close. So I can see Pac up there. I'm always give respect to Ye. Musically, I don't think anybody can really touch Ye. Y'all know I'm an Outkast fan, so y'all know I'm always rock for Andre 3000. I think quietly, what him and Organized Noise did, I think that set up hip hop's future. Because at that time, everything was just New York, Philly, Jersey, if you don't include Jersey in New York. So it was like that was the whole musical sound. And then when that started layering, I mean, kind of like falling off a little bit though. And part of that was because of the East Coast, West Coast beef. What Organized Noise did with Outkast at that time, it reinvigorated music, right? Like even the ideal of R&B rap, low key, that starts with Outkast. There's really nothing prior to that.
Yeah, but the way I look at Kanye, the way he's changed music, not even just rap. He changed, but if we're going to stick to rap, he's changed hip hop, the sound of hip hop 3 times. And that's never just happened. That's just never happened. And we talking about going back to the sampling, right? Then you know, we have a whole generation of rappers right now. The emo rap, that starts with 808 and Heartbreaks. You know what I'm saying? Your Travis Scott's, your Playboy Cardi's, all them, that starts with the Yeezus album when it was nothing but it sounded like stadium rock rap. Like that started there. And you bring up the gospel part, you know, he did try to do what Kirk Franklin tried to do forever, right? But I look at it and
I mean, you can even go back to, you know, Jesus Walks. I mean, at the time, like that was revolutionary. It was, you know, when it came, you know, to music. And again, right, like a lot of people had tried it, but Kanye had Jesus Walk being played in the club.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Up until that point, like
the club and in churches.
Yeah.
Which was weird.
That is weird.
Y'all, when y'all try to cross over, y'all do it. Y'all take it one little step too far.
They always go too far.
But it happens there. We do need to start having a conversation about the top 10. We ain't gotta have it today, but we need to come back next week with our top 10 musical genius of black music though.
I mean, it could just be music. I mean, it's gonna end up being black anyway.
Because we black.
No, not because we're black, because honestly, like music in this country has always been through soul, right? And soul, you typically have to deal with something to go through something. Yeah. In order to have that. That's traditionally in the arts, right? Because like, how do you become good, right? Like, you know, well, I can't play video games, so I'm shooting hoops at the play. My mom ain't home, right? I'm shooting hoops at the playground 12 hours a day, right? How do you become good at art, right? You know, I couldn't buy crayons, right? So I had to learn how to pencil draw and use the pencil to create lighting and shading, you know, as if it was paint, right? So typically the arts do come from struggle. So when you look at music in this country, black people typically struggle more. Even people that come over here to struggle a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like if you look at, you know, the one block from the dock folks, when they get over here, they struggle a little bit, but the moment they can codify whiteness, then they're out of the struggle, right?
True.
So I'll include all music, right? Because I mean, one of my favorite artists would be like Frank Sinatra, who I think is like one of the greatest singers of all time. But when we go through like the greatest musicians, Quincy Jones goes on that list, right? And guess who Quincy Jones used to work with? Frank Sinatra.
Well, I don't know, and we can't put him on the list.
Who?
Quincy. Because I don't know who's gonna go above him.
No, I'm just saying that, but that could go in there. I mean, dude, Quincy Jones has a I guess a musical genre history that spans from the Rat Pack, Frank Sinatra through Michael Jackson. Like that is crazy range.
No, he worked with Ye.
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot.
Like it goes that long. Like it goes there. And I remember one time there was this conversation. You know, my biggest thing is Quincy still alive?
I can't remember.
I think they hiding him because he don't know how to have coof on the microphone. You remember when he was doing all them interviews?
He actually passed away last year.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I think they hit him for the last couple because he was getting his shit off.
Yeah, because he was old and think about it, he's seen everything.
He was getting on interviews just saying all types of crazy stuff. Hold on, my camera just stopped. Y'all stay right here because it's gonna mess up my editing. None of it before. Why is it? Damn. I'm gonna have a hard day editing this one. I'm gonna let y'all know this already. I can already tell. Anyway, you put something in there about dating on potential. Where we at with this?
So that was our question for the week because I got there from one of my homegirls.
Welcome to the Ask a Black Dad segment of the week. If you are a founding father of the Black Dads Club, for $25 a month, you can not only ask us a question, but you can call in right now. But nobody's going to call in. Also, if you are on our middle tier on Patreon, you can call in. But this is the Black Dads Ask a Black Dad, where you can ask us anything. I will always tell the truth. Mike may or may not, depending on if you paid or not. But this is brought to you by CLTBOKGLD. What did I just say? Oh, Charlotte Black Gold. Sorry. Shout out to them. Shout out to Marcus. We love you. We can't wait to rock with you. And Mike is going to let us know how easy you made it for him on his next date. What is the Ask a Black Dad segment?
All right. So one of my homegirls, she asked me, she was like, now when she's like, when it's okay to date potential? Because these N-words have potential and no plan, right? So she had sent me, I guess it was a conversation, this is probably on Threads, because that's where all the black women are congregating that's mad at black men. It was, some girl had posted, or some lady had posted, at some point, some of y'all got to date the guy with potential if you don't want to stay single. All right? And she was like, when is it okay? So the question was, when is it okay to date a guy, for potential, right? And one of the things that I told her, I was just like, there's a difference between potential and ambition, right? Potential means the capacity for, ambition means the plan to.
Okay.
And I was like, you just have to recognize, does the guy have a plan to, or does he just have the capacity for? Right?
Yeah.
Because those are two completely different things, right? A guy that has a plan to, he'll say, in 10 years, I want to, have a townhouse and a 4Runner, right? Right.
Yeah.
And then he'll tell you, like, how you going to do it? All right. So I'm going to pay this car off, save this amount of money a month, and, boom, 10 years from now, I'll have this, right? That is a plan too, right?
Yeah.
All right. That's a man that's ambitious, right? Because he doesn't have it now, and he's like, all right, I'm going to get to it, right? Yeah. Now, you'll have another guy, and you'll be like, yo, where do you see yourself in 10 years? And he'll be like, man, uptown penthouse, AMG 63, Mercedes Benz. Facts. Okay, how you going to get there? Man, I'm going to hustle, and I'm going to grind, and I'm going to do, and then when things pop off, I'm going to take off, right? Facts. Now, he could have the capacity for that, right? But he doesn't have a plan to. So when you don't date men who are ambitious, don't date men that have potential. That's what I'm trying to say.
Facts. That's my favorite thing when I ask somebody like, oh, of course I deal with a lot of photographers. So it's like, oh, what you gonna do? Next year I'm gonna make $100,000. I'm like, all right, cool. So how you gonna do that? Now I'm gonna just start working, right? I'm gonna just book and I'm gonna post on Instagram and then I'm gonna kill it, bro. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna work. And it's like, all right, cool, bet. I'm gonna holler at you later because I know it's not going nowhere. And so with me, male or female, when I deal with those photographers, I just smile, give them a thumbs up, and say, thoughts and prayers. But
cool for you,
cool for you, yeah. But it's different when you go speak. How you gonna do it? Well, actually, I got 10 weddings already planned. I just need to find another 4. Yeah. Then also, I'm planning on helping these photographers second shoot. Also, I got a space. I'm renting that out to get this, and it's like, oh, you really might get that 110, that 120 next year. And that's what I like to hear. And that's when I take people serious. Funny enough, never mind, he might be listening. But I have people all the time. You know what? I'll give you a better example. Every time I do a mentorship, I sit down with people. The first question before we ask, I don't ask to see their camera. I don't ask what they like shooting. I don't ask what they do, how long they've been doing this. I say, what do you want to get out of this? Yeah. Because I'd rather cater what we doing to what you want to get out of it. Some people just want to get better at taking pictures. They still want their full-time job. They still want to do this every day. And then some people really look at this and say, yo, I want to have a full-fledged business. Yeah. Like, I don't want to work for nobody anymore. I want to make and those are two different paths. So yeah, I'm with Mike, yo. Dating on ambition.
Potential versus ambition. Like you don't date for potential. You can date for ambition though. And here's the thing. I think a lot of men are ambitious and they do have plans. And I think that the problem is a lot of women can't decipher the difference between potential and ambition, right? Because the uptown penthouse suite and the AMG 63 sounds way better than the 4Runner and the townhome, in Rock Hill, right? Like, those two things, like, which one sounds better? The first one, obviously, right? Yeah. But which one is more likely to happen? Probably the second one. So I think,
not even which one is more likely to happen, which one you willing to work for. That's another thing we don't never talk to people about.
This is true.
Like, what are you willing to do to get to where you're going? Funny enough, we didn't put it in here. I forgot to put it on the board. Cameron talking about Joe's Pod, right? He's talking about the chaos up there.
Yeah.
And, I laughed at that clip because I remember, at least, for those who I know, I started listening to Joe Budden around episode, it was either 100 or 150, whatever. They in, I think in the 800s now.
Yeah.
So I've been listening for a long ass time, too long. I remember in the 300s when Joe said, I'm going to create a podcast of chaos and just run it up. He said that. He said then, this is when they only had 4 people, 3 people on camera, and Parks was not on camera.
Yeah.
So he got 4 people, and he said, I want at least 6 or 7 people up here, and I wanted to be chaos for hours of people just yelling. He said, I know what we can create.
Yeah.
It sounded stupid then. Then you looking up and he making $20 million a year on a podcast, right? But who's willing to put in that work? Who willing to figure out the tinkering? Who's willing to say, what does this do? Who's willing to say, it was funny, I forgot who back he was kicking in last week, but he was like, yo, I got connections up there. Some of us who's willing, I told my sister one time, she told me she wanted to do something. And I said, well, you need to do it. She said, why? I said, because it's a girl who younger than you and prettier than you who willing to do way more.
Yeah.
And you better figure this shit out quicker than her.
Yep.
Because you better be wise, you better be smarter than her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of times, like, what are you willing to do? Marcus, you got an app right now. What are you willing to do to make sure this app is in all 50 states, in every major black city? Like, how far, how fast are you willing to go? And a lot of times, ladies, you not willing, you got to look for that man to say, is he willing? Hey, if you want the AMG, you want the Uptown penthouse, what you doing to get it? A lot of people just talk, and then you talk to them in 2 weeks, they still talking about the same shit.
Yeah,
2
yeah,
years,
still talk
same-
because it's potential, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's potential. So
or they
it's-
just like to say the same shit.
Yeah. So, and it's like if you find a man that is ambitious, right, and it's not potential, how do you add to that, right? How do you add value to that? Because you could very easily just chip away from it and take away from it. And a lot of men have suffered that fate.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas, we were ambitious, right? But then someone chipped away from it and took from it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like now that exhaustion is starting to settle in. So, again, that came from, one of my homegirls, and she was just like, hey, should men, like women are having this conversation of dating men for potential. And here's the thing, I think a lot of times too, it's easier to date a man for potential because he ain't really doing anything. So you don't really have to do anything. If you date a man that, again, is ambitious and he has a plan, there's going to be a roadmap that everybody involved are going to have to follow, whether you want to or not. And I think that's different, right? Because potential, you could just talk, you could talk around it. You ain't got to do it.
Yeah.
Ambition, we got to get with the plan, and he gonna be quick to cut bait.
Absolutely. I laugh at when I first met my wife. Shout out to her. Happy anniversary.
Oh yeah, that's right. Happy anniversary to Gal.
Happy anniversary. Thank you.
We should have opened the pod with that, man.
It's too late now. We damn near an hour and so in. And Ben always hit me up. He sends me the number, how long the podcast is. And was like, what are y'all doing up there? He think he can get the podcast done in traffic. Nah, buddy, you're going to have to take 2 days to listen to us now. But when I first met my wife, she was a server.
Yeah.
Right? Then once we started dating, she was still a server, but she was a coordinator at the Holiday Inn of all places. And no shade to the Holiday Inn, but y'all know what's up. And so it was one of those things. And mind you, we leaving the Ritz. So she leaving the Ritz to go work at the Holiday Inn. And I remember, the funny part is when me and my wife started like kicking it, she was unemployed. She had just gotten fired. Yeah. I got her, fellas, that's how you do it. I waited for her to get fired and then I took her out. Because I knew, you know what I'm saying, she vulnerable at this point. We can make this happen, man. Y'all be trying to get the girl wrong. Y'all doing it wrong. But anyway.
Not Gavin endorsing economic abuse.
Oh, yeah. Financial abuse is
financial abuse.
Yeah. Y'all need to lean more into that. Y'all be doing it all wrong. But no, she didn't have a job. But the cool part is when me and her are talking, I'm constantly talking to her at this time. Like, what is the plan? And bro, I remember she told me her plan.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
So then when she leaves, you start off, you're a server at the Holiday Inn, right? Then you planning all of their weddings. And then you're like, hey, I'm about to go to the embassy and I'm going to open this hotel. And I'm like, okay. And you go do that and you planning all their events. And then you saying, hey, I'm going to leave here and I'm going to go, and work for Live Nation and I'm going to do all of their events. And I'm like, okay. And now she's where she at because y'all like to dox people.
Yeah, they do.
But you know what I'm saying? Now she's doing the global events for them. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, her ass going out of town this weekend.
Hey, man. Life of a boss.
Yeah, my boss, basically. But it's one of those things, and it was that ambition that I was like, all right. And she showed me something. You got to show also. A lot of y'all, you laying on bullshit because he ain't showing you stuff.
Yep.
And sometimes you got to wake up and make sure you don't get pregnant before you find out he been showing you a lot of bullshit. Please don't get pregnant before then. Sports time. Mimi has left the building. Now we can have a party that we all been waiting for. The Dodgers have won the World Series. I would say congratulations, but I do want to know if this is bad for baseball. The Dodgers have made sure that they have overspent and outspent everybody. I will say this. If it's bad for baseball, I will say this. The Blue Jays made them sweat.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Because the Blue Jays lost Game 7. Sorry. They had it in the bag. They shouldn't have lost Game 6. They should have ended it there, but they couldn't. You know what I'm saying? The ratings, we got to extend this out. We get there to 7, and I watched it. It was a great game. Very interesting. Went to 11 innings, and I stayed up and watched it. And I don't even like baseball. Me and my wife did have a conversation on who jersey is better, the Yankees or the Dodgers.
I like the Dodgers, man.
I love the Dodgers.
I like that.
blue and white.
I'm not a fan of pinstripes, bro.
Me either.
And that might have been because my dad used to make me wear pinstripe suits way too much as a kid. That could be trauma. Y'all like to make everything trauma.
Yeah.
So maybe it's trauma.
Well, that was black church fashion back then. Pinstripes and a 3-piece.
Oh my gosh.
Fire.
Yeah, I might.
But yeah, I always think as cities go, I think Miami always have the best jerseys, no matter the sport. But as far as like when it came to baseball, I was telling I'm like, y'all like these Dodgers. I said, I understand that the Yankees jersey is more iconic, but at the same time, I'm like, the Dodgers jersey was fire. How long Ja Morant gonna be in the league?
You know what, man? Ja.
How much longer he got?
Hey man, the boy got too much South Carolina in him, man.
That's y'all problem right there.
And look, and I get it, because I've been where he's at. Not like super rich and young. Well, I had a little bit of money when I was 26.
Not this money.
Not this kind of money though, right? But it is a little bit of a behavior. I don't like what's going on with Ja Morant because, like, look, one, you got the one big contract, right? But you're supposed to be able to get a second big contract after
and maybe
this.
squeeze a third.
Yeah, and maybe squeeze a third. I don't know, because KD just got what, $40 million a year for 2 years?
Yeah.
$35 million. And like, I don't know if Ja Morant is going to be able to hit even a second max contract at this point. Because once the ownership groups have labeled you as a problem, dude, the moment that vertical dropped by 2 inches, you're out the league. You know what I'm saying? You're out the league. And I don't like this for Ja Morant. This is not, I don't think, here's the thing. I don't think he's done anything wrong outside of he is just not disciplined for where he needs to be in life, right?
You can't bring a gun on the team plane.
But
we cleaned that up.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you're at a point where you're making too many small mistakes, and those small it goes to the old saying, right? The small fox destroys the grapevine, right? Because the big fox can reach up and grab the grapes, right? Yeah. But the small fox, it scratches the roots, so it ends up killing the vine, right? Because it's trying to catch it, and it's like, yo,
you old as hell. But go ahead.
Yeah, man, dude, that's an actual Aesop. It's an Aesop or Aesop. That's a fable, bro. Y'all didn't have these stories read to y'all when y'all was babies, man?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna start going back over the fables then on the Wednesday nights too, because y'all are missing a lot, man.
This man old as hell. But no, you're 100% correct. But I think we all know, all of us that have brains, college or not, we understand that Ja is doing things in the NBA is making him appear small.
Yeah.
And I'm telling y'all right now, I don't want to kick his back in because he from Carolina, whatever.
Yeah.
That strip club gun thing, that was not a small thing.
That was not a small thing.
If you have a brain and you figure out how that happened, you'll realize that he should probably be in federal prison right now. But we ain't gonna never let that happen. Because I don't know if they fly. Do they fly private?
I'm almost certain they fly private. But even if it's not like a private jet, they still there's like a private jet terminal at most major airports where there's the major airlines have like a private jet brand for people. So,
but it's like that's a mess. But then like outside of that, I'm with you. I don't think he's done that wrong. Just stupid things. But when you start talking about people, I'm talking about management, ownership, and
when you get suspended for conduct detrimental to the team, and you really haven't done anything but ran your mouth, bro,
that means
somebody's tired of you.
That part, and that means you probably doing something crazy.
Yeah, somebody is tired of you, right? Whenever you, like, I have never seen a player suspended for conduct detrimental to the team, and they get major contracts after that. It's almost always they're about to get pushed out of the league. Now, John Morant's saving grace is that he's 26 years old.
That's the only thing,
and not 33. Because at 33, he'd be done. Like, as soon as his contract would be over, he'd be done. The fact that he's 26. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, the fact that he is, 26 years old, that's still saving because you're going to have them bunnies for like another 4 years solid.
It's you 26 and you in Memphis.
Yeah. He needs to get out of Memphis. That much is for sure. They need to trade. I don't know where you send John Morant to, because you can't send him to Oklahoma City because he's probably gonna get in trouble. But you also don't want to send him to New York City.
No, you can't.
Yeah, so I don't know where you
to
trade
Utah?
him. I don't know where you trade him.
I think they got NBA young boy out of Utah, so you can send him to Utah.
But he got to get out of Memphis though, man. Because I'm typically when I say I'm pulling for you, it's sarcasm. But I'm actually pulling for the brother here.
Yeah, you more than me. My fantasy league, I think I'm done. I don't know. I did lose this week bad. I sat Matthew Stafford playing New Orleans for Jaden Daniels, and well, y'all know what happened. When all my receivers, I think, had a total combined of like 6 points, I knew it was done for me. But long as I don't come in last is what all that matters. We will see. Max Kellerman and Rich Paul are starting a podcast. I don't know how I feel about this, simply because, first of all, let me put it like this. I just know what time it is.
And if you're Rich Paul, right? I think Rich Paul is going to run into the same problem that Melissa Ford ran into, right? Now,
okay,
completely different, but follow me here.
Please.
Melissa Ford has way more stories than she ever gave out on the Joe Budden podcast. I think part of the excitement of her joining was, oh my goodness, we are really about to find out some things that we've always suspected but could never confirm, right? And then we never got that, right?
Facts.
Rich Paul, the podcast starts and you're like, man, I am really about to get stories about things that I've always suspected, but I could never prove. Is he going to do that?
Oh, see, me and you looking at this totally different. I think he going in there just to big up LeBron's image even more. Rich Paul, you're not fooling me. But I'm not mad at it, and you don't have to do it, but I already know what time it is. You got Max. You're not finna talk to Max about boxing, because that's what Max is great at.
Yeah, so again, I don't understand what would be the point then. Look, I'm probably the biggest LeBron fan in the world. I prefer LeBron over Michael Jordan, right?
Okay.
So, but I think he's been glazed enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think there's anything extra we could add to. Like at this point, if LeBron needs this, okay, now I'm about to start looking at you different, bro.
Well, that's what's going to happen. You got Max, who loves LeBron.
Yeah.
This is absolutely a Clutch Sports podcast creation.
If you want to tell me about the bottom of Clutch Sports,
no, they're not finna. What they're going to do is, I'm telling you, they selected a person they know is not going to challenge or kick LeBron's back in. Because we starting a podcast. So what can they talk about? We know, and that's my biggest thing to everybody.
I would assume that they, because Max do talk about the business side of sports a lot, especially boxing, right?
Yes.
Like he'll tell you like who's up and coming, why they should fight, what fighter to make from there. So they're not going to speak about boxing, but Max is good about that. I do like listening to Max about boxing, because he'll tell you something and you'll be like, oh man, that is right. Right? Rich Paul negotiates contracts for a living.
So it's going to be.
So if you're not telling me about the economics of sports and what's coming and like why they're doing this, I can't really think of another reason to listen to Max Kellerman or Rich Paul.
Yeah. I mean, this would have been more interesting if it was Rich Paul and Skip starting the podcast. Because then we kind of just be like, oh, this is about to go. This is going to be interesting. But I know that we got to get Bron up.
And podding is hard, man. Like Rich Paul is rich.
Y'all don't want me to tell you how many episodes I think they're gonna get to before they quit.
Like
you do not want me to get started.
It's a lot of work, man. So it's like, when you were pod, bro, you got the kind of money that Rich Paul has. Like, bro, it's gonna wear thin on you real quick.
Yeah, I think what end up happening is they're gonna come in, record about 6 to 8 episodes, and then take a season off and keep going. I just don't see this lasting long, because I think That's why I also think this is a marketing play for LeBron's image. Not that I think his image could take.
It might not be his image per se, but it just could be a retirement type thing. Now I can see that.
What you mean a retirement type thing?
LeBron retiring, so we doing all the behind the scenes with LeBron and him retiring.
But you don't need Max for that.
I mean, Max is a Max LeBron Glazer.
He is. I mean, get Nick right.
Nick Wright would be too much. That'd be obvious.
Yeah, that's true.
Nick Wright would be obvious. So it's like I can see that. I can see this being like a retirement. Like, we are talking about sports, but we have the behind the scenes going on with LeBron because I mean, while it is a podcast, right? We know it's gonna be nothing but video clip after video clip after video clip after video clip.
Yeah.
So
I am interested to see what you got planned this weekend.
I can't call it, man. I'm annoyed with our country right now. Speaking of, we did have breaking news that they're about to do GLP-1s on Trump RX, which is an actual real site, by the way. I just looked it up. It's a government site called Trump RX. These are the same people that hated Obamacare, by the way. So that is breaking news. I do think GLP-1s are great. I think society as a whole is going to see obesity drops, and supposedly Wall Street Journal said that they are going to be selling it for $150 from Novartis, and I forget the other company that makes it. Eli, I think. But yeah, that was breaking news. Crazy. I would.
Donald Trump might be the greatest asshole of all time, and I'm not even mad at him no more. Donald Trump is. I will tell you this. He is, and this gonna sound crazy. Every day that he's president, I'm not mad at him being president.
No, he's not the issue, if we're being honest.
He told y'all exactly what he was going to do. And you know what? I give it to Mike. This is why he's the oldest on this podcast. This man is making sure he's going to be the richest. I don't think he's going to be the richest president ever. He going to smoke that. I think we're going to go past that.
Well, low-key, he might not be the richest president because if you think that the Bush boys went into the House of Saud and put them up into leadership in Saudi Arabia with British Petroleum, and you think they did not take a percentage of the largest company in the world right now, which is Aramco, you have lost your motherfucking mind.
Bruh.
But that goes down the rabbit hole of conspiracies, which we don't do on this pod, because then we'd be like the black Alex Jones. Yeah. But I do think that
he doing everything he said.
He's doing everything that he said. And look, I am going to pop a bottle of rosé today for a reason. And there's going to be a second time I'm going to pop a bottle of rosé. And I won't say why. But on that second time, you'll realize that like, I get why he did it.
Bruh, this man is wilding out. You seen his son, I think Barron's worth like $400 million now. He got whatever them little random coins is.
The meme coins.
Yeah, bro. I'm like,
hey man, go get it, bro. Go get it.
And then Trump was promoting. I think his other son wrote a book or something. Like he was promoting that. Like,
yeah, the crazy part is one of the things that I always look at, when it comes to Trump is if this was Barack Obama.
Oh my gosh,
right? How would the country react? And it's really just. It's giving me a clear vision, right? I don't get pissed off about it. I don't get upset about it. I don't try to say that we should change things. At some point, you got to recognize where you are. Mm-hmm. That's it, right? You just got to recognize where you are. You can't change the road, right? And that's where I'm at right now when I look at this country. And it's like, you be pissed off trying to say, well, I don't get to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they get to do that, or he gets to do that, right? And the people that support him, they want to be able to do that, right?
Yeah.
They're never going to look at you and say, you get to do that, right? And that's not the part that disappoints me. The part that disappoints me is the clip that's going viral right now. So I know it disappoints a lot of y'all too. It's when the person that looks like me, right, focus on kicking in people like me backs in. Because we already got a constant fight in this country. Yeah. We have an internal fight in this country, right? Like the reason why Donald Trump can do stuff that Barack Obama, who's not Afro-American, by the way. Big ups to Kamala, being on Steve-O's podcast. I'm halfway through it, but I love that 18 minutes in, you made sure that everyone knew that you were the daughter of an Indian immigrant that came here and a Jamaican academic that came here. Even though you played in our faces during the election, and all y'all Democrat shields got mad at me when I called that out. But
I don't even think she played our face. I think her supporters did. The black intellectuals.
True, black intellectuals, right?
They
played in our, big ups to her. Not even 18 minutes in, being clear about who she was, by the way. And anyway, not even a bad interview. She comes off a little, I can't say that because then y'all gonna just say I'm sexist. She came off a little bit inauthentic, but it is a good interview. I haven't finished it, but I'm gonna finish it in the car as soon as I get in.
One day we need to have a true discussion if that's just her. Not dead ass. If this is authentically her.
Maybe this
because
that could be possible, right? Because we have identities based upon where we're from and what we do. And perhaps the children of immigrants don't.
I was about to go a different step. You ever meet the white folks at work and you don't know if they playing a character sometimes? Like when they are, especially at networking events, and you kind of just like, yo, who
is this really you? Yeah,
is this really you? And sometimes they get so just weird and funny that you as a person, especially as somebody who like don't do no BS, and I don't have to. All right, this ain't. Hey, I didn't turn off my cosplaying or my code switching off right now, and you don't like when. Excuse me, let me put it like this. All of us have met a white person. As a person of color, you met a white person. You're trying to think if they are code switching.
Yes.
And it's not even code switching around black people. It's around other white people. You just don't know what they're doing. And with her, I keep wondering, have I ever seen the real Kamala? I thought I saw the real Kamala when you was on the Senate. You was doing all those. What was she when she was sitting beside Cory Booker?
She was a senator. Yeah.
Senator.
Yeah.
So I used to think that was the real her. I'm like, oh, that like auntie up there, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Then you speed up and then, we did it, Joe, and you saw that. Then she's not the same person who was running. We saw somebody completely different there.
Yeah.
We saw it when she was talking to Asians, when she was talking to whites, when she was talking to blacks, when she was talking to Meg Thee Stallion versus when she was talking to Hillary. We never seen the same, you never seen the same Kamala twice.
So maybe we've never seen the real Kamala.
That's what I think.
Yeah, we've never. There's always her representative. That could be possible. That very well could be possible. Anyway, great interview. I'm still watching it on Steve. This was not a shot at her per se.
No.
This was a once again, when we bring out things on this podcast, because we were talking about Barack Obama not being Afro-American, is that when we bring this out and say, like, hey, there's a difference here, most of the time we get shouted down by our people, right? And it's like, yo, I'm trying to bring this up for a reason. It reminds me, and I'm gonna leave on this, right? It reminds me when I was talking to this guy. He was just like, there's this delineation that y'all keep trying to make between Afro-American and those that are descendant of immigrants, right? And he's having this conversation with me with a Haitian hat on, because he was from Haiti, right?
Okay.
And I was like, bruh, do you not recognize the irony? Like you're having a conversation with me representing your homeland.
Yeah.
And then when I say in my homeland, like we don't want to wear the American flag, right? But when I say in my homeland, like, yo, there's a difference here. You're like, well, you're creating division, and you're doing this with your hat on, which I support, by the way.
Yeah.
So it just, again, going back to the clip that's going right now, it's like, yo, there is a disappointment when I see my people downing my people and you don't touch other people, right? That's exhausting, because that's an enemy inside the camp, right?
Facts.
When we close all the gates and we close all the doors and we got boiling oil at the top and we got the archers here, right? The last thing I'm expecting is somebody coming up from behind me that looks like me slitting my throat. That is not what I'm looking for.
Absolutely. And I say this, I want to encourage everybody, if you see something on social media that enrages you, don't engage and just block. A certain part of our world, our country, and especially those in power, they are getting off on false information, misinformation, and they will stretch it, and they have no respect or just love enough to say, yo, we was wrong.
No, you never get that. You never get that back. You never get a like, yo, we was 100% wrong on that.
And almost what they're willing to do is say, hey, you know what? Even though I'm wrong, the cause is bigger than my lie, so I have to stay there. And I give you the perfect example. Apparently, during Halloween, some teachers wore a shirt and it was bloody, and it said solved or whatever, and they were all math teachers.
Yeah.
And according to some wild patriots out there, these teachers was mocking Charlie Kirk, so they needed all of these teachers to be fired.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a big thing, and you know, they doxing people, they finding the school, they writing the superintendent. And you know what the superintendent did?
What?
He posted them wearing the same shirt the last 3 years.
Oh.
And it was and they wear it because they're all math teacher, and they're basically saying it's a Halloween shirt, so it's blood. It's like, that's how much work it took us to solve this math problem.
Exactly.
That's been their stick for the last 3 fucking years.
Yeah.
But you know what? Even after even after the superintendent posted it, and he's listed, hey, here are the exact same people the last 3 years. They've done this.
Yeah.
You know what happened? Those individuals said, nope, this year was for Charlie.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's more important to them. I'm never going to speak about his wife. If y'all see what I see, then you've seen it. I'll leave that there.
Yeah.
But I would say, like, that's one thing. And I'm looking at the other just misinformation that they are willing to do. And it's like, yo, do yourself a favor and just unfollow it.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at with it. Like, if you have a blue check mark, I'm almost instantly unfollowing you. If I think you're shilling for somebody, it's almost and it's not because I won't debate. It's because the debates have become intellectually dishonest, right?
Facts.
People want to be right more than being right now. Facts. And it's like, that's the issue here, right? Your ideology, how you feel, right? You will create scenarios, right? It's one of the reasons why I've created, like, I don't sit here and defend fucking far right people. Everybody know that far right is fascism, right? But then when I try to point out to people like, that's not really fascism, right? And it's just like, oh, well, you must be far right. And I'm like, okay, well, give me the far left, right? It's part of the reason for the conversation is because, you know what? You haven't even taken the 5 minutes to Google a political spectrum, and then ask AI to say, hey, align world leaders on this political spectrum, so I can even have an example or an ideal of what I'm talking about when I speak. You don't do that because you don't have intellectual curiosity.
There we go. Look that up. Look, I want to say we love y'all. Subscribe to the Patreon. Get the app, the COTBOKGOD app. Look, if you see me out this weekend, my wife will be out of town. You'll probably see me with a 4-year-old. Yeah. Saturday I might be outside. Saturday night I might be outside. I think I'm gonna give my kid to my sister. And then Sunday, me and my 4-year-old will be running around.
Oh, man.
Look, and with that, we're gonna holler at y'all next time.
Holla at your boy.